Hi, Freedom Queen. Welcome back to season 1 of The Art of Moving the Masses. You're on episode number 5, and I'm going to be breaking down the entire process behind making $52,000 cash in the last 3 days. Now, if you are watching this episode and it's your first time, welcome to the Freedom Queen podcast. If you are an OG, I'm so happy to see you back. And hopefully you've already watched episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Reminder that this podcast is filmed in a season. So you should watch all of the other past episodes so that you know what's going on inside of each episode because they're stacking on top of one another. Inside of this episode, I'm breaking down $52K cash in the last 3 days. Now, one of the things that has become so normal to me is making this type of money. It has become so normal to me that I often forget how this is not normal. And I want to make this episode just for you on the breakdown behind it, the mindset, and also the strategy behind it. Now, inside of my company, I own a brand. Okay, so I own a brand called Freedom Queen. This company is known for helping women grow online businesses, sell high-ticket offers, and become influential for their work. These things are my sales authority. I share that with you because your sales authority is determining how much money you're making. Your sales authority is what's responsible for how many people pay you, who pays you, and how much money you make or what you can charge. Your sales authority, it's the things that you are the best at. It's the things that you have the most experience in. It's the things that when you speak about them, people look at you and say, okay, she's clearly the authority in these things. I've helped people scale million-dollar movements. I've helped them become extremely famous and influential for their work, and I've helped them sell high ticket, right? Those are all the things that are in my sales authority. They're the things that I'm the best at. The things that I've helped clients with. And it's also what I'm known for in the marketplace. So one of the things that I've had to do over the last 5 years is to make sure that the marketplace knows me for these things. In every single piece of content, what I'm doing is I'm restating my sales authority. Every single piece of content goes back to the thing that I'm best at. Right now, when I go to your social media feed, you're all over the place. You're talking about business coaching and money and manifestation and your health. If you're trying to do wide net content, that's one thing. But if this content is not going viral and you're just making content, all you're doing is confusing your audience rather than focusing on what your sales authority is. Now, your sales authority should be something in the marketplace that is a complement to other people, not in competition to other people. So what a lot of people do is they pick topics and they pick things in the online space, but they end up sounding like they're in competition with other people. So they're like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to sell on social media. Great. Everyone else does that. Pick something that's unique to you and pick something that's not in competition with other people. Pick something that's a complement to them. And then the worst thing they do is they put their zone of genius through a ChatGPT file, and then it gives them some terrible naming title, and then they name it that. And they're like, I'm the authority in this trademark. It's like, that's not what makes you the authority. What makes you the authority, again, you need to be the best at this thing. It needs to be a complement to other people in the marketplace. And it needs to sound unique. It can't be something that everyone else is doing inside of the marketplace. So 5 years ago, well, really it was about 4 years ago, I started teaching people how to build movements. I immediately took that corner and that angle in the marketplace as mine. When you think of movements, you think of Freedom Queen, the expert at leading and scaling movements. I cornered the marketplace around high-end at scale. Anyone now that brings in high-end at scale, you think of Freedom Queen. Famous and influential, very big piece in Freedom Queen, cornered that in the marketplace. People recite that back to me. So those are my sales authority. If right now you're just a business coach, you're just a brand coach, there's nothing specific and unique about you, just an embodiment coach, No one's going to want to work with you on those topics. And one of the things I see all the time, I'm thinking of someone who I saw do this yesterday. She really started doubling down on her sales authority. It was so clear. It was like she's an embodiment and this is what she teaches and the nervous system and the movement. And then all of a sudden she dropped an offer that's like, I'm going to write your sales page. It's like, these things are not the same. It's actually messing with your sales authority because I don't know what you're actually the authority in anymore. You can tell how obsessed with this topic I really am. So your sales authority, again, it's what you're the best at. It's a compliment to other people's work, and it's very unique in the marketplace. It's even better if it's something new in the marketplace, or at least it sounds new. I love the quote, new is better than better is better, right? No one wants an improvement offer. People want new offers inside of the marketplace because new is shiny. It's exciting for people to want to learn about your new work that you're bringing forward inside of the marketplace. So looking at the $52K cash in the last 3 days, by the way, this is not my biggest amount of money made in 3 days. I've had multi six figures in 1 day in cash. But looking at these last 3 days, it's like an average period, which is why I'm talking about this. It's because I have cornered the marketplace with my sales authority. People know what I'm the absolute best at: building movements, high end at scale, fame, and influential women. Period. That's what I'm known for. That's what I'm writing a book for. That's what I sell at my 500-person conference for. Like, everything is in that. And I could even go more deep on my sales authority. So people already know me for these things. Now, why is this so important? When I go to sell, so the next thing that I did over these last 3 days is I sold behind the scenes. So I sent an email to my list saying, hey, do you want to join one of my masterminds with these are the core focus? You're going to build a multi-million-dollar movement. You're going to sell high-end at scale. So you're going to sell a lot of high-ticket offers. You're going to be famous and influential for your work. People join. Because I've already built a reputation. I already have the authority that those are the things that I'm known for. It's not confusing to people. If anyone is saying no, or you're not getting a lot of people reaching out for your work, it's because they don't know what you do. They don't know your sales authority, the thing that helps them. This is about them and what you do for them. You need to corner the marketplace. This is how you're going to get people that are more advanced than you hire you. This is how you're going to get the masses to hire you. This is how you're going to get a lot of people inside of your 25K year-long program. Your sales authority. So when I send out an email, it's an immediate yes for people. Yes, I'm in. I didn't even talk to people. They talked to my team, signed up. My team said, hey, in our wins thread, this person joined. Amazing. Awesome. They're in. Hey, this person joined this mastermind. They joined this mastermind. They're in. Great. They joined this course, this program, whatever, because I already have the sales authority in that. The next thing is that I have multi six figures in monthly recurring revenue. So what that means is my MRR inside of my dashboard, $200,000 in monthly recurring revenue. That means every single month, minimum multi six figures, just inside of my coaching business. This does not include outside investments or outside businesses that I have. That doesn't include that. That's just inside of my company. So what I do and what I teach people to do inside my masterminds is cycle through different types of revenue. So what I mean by that is I'll cycle through recurring revenue programs and then now cash programs or cash now programs. Recurring revenue programs, cash now programs. The reason this works is because let me give you an example. So November and December, I launched recurring revenue programs, a 25K year-long offer and a 50K year-long offer. That brought in a lot of recurring revenue. Great. Then what I did right after that is went into launching cash now programs. Cash now programs are exactly what it sounds like. It's going to bring in money into the company right now. Now, why this is so important is because the people in the cash now programs are going to fall in love with the work, get a really incredible transformation. And some of those people will say, I want to continue to work with you. And they'll join a recurring revenue program. In fact, 80 to 90% of the people that join a cash now program end up enrolling into a recurring revenue program about 4 to 6 weeks after they're inside of the cash now program, depending on the length of the program. That's really amazing. Now, what this does in terms of a compounding growth, in terms of compound growth in the company, is people join recurring, cash now, recurring, cash now, recurring, cash now. the income will start to double on top of itself because you have people rolling over from a cash now to recurring, cash now to recurring. Now, one of your goals is to make sure that people love your recurring revenue programs and want to stay, or they ascend to an upper tier one. So one of the things that I've had happen is people either stay in the 25K or they go from the 25 to 50K, or they go 50K to 150K program. That's fantastic. That's great ascension and retention inside of the business. And that's something that I've really worked on over the last 5 years. So what you need to understand then is the 52K cash coming in the last 3 days came from those two revenue streams. They came from the recurring revenue program that I'd already built out in November and December, and they came from cash now programs. So I have the subscriptions going off from the people that bought November, December, and the people that are coming in new. Why is this so important? Because that sets up my business for success in the next cycle, in the next month or the next quarter, because I have two types of revenue. Unfortunately, what a lot of people do is they only focus on recurring revenue because they've been sold this idea in the online space that recurring revenue is like the best thing in the world. It's fantastic, yes. However, I only have that recurring revenue that I have to this day and that I've had for many years is because I focus on the second bucket, which is cash now. And I focused, oh my God, for the first 2 years of my business, I did not focus on recurring revenue at all. I just focused on cash now, cash now, cash now. And I'm so glad I did that because you know what it did? It built a really strong client base. It built a really amazing reputation where I had transformed and served so many people in such a short amount of time in the first 2 years of my company that by the time I opened up a recurring revenue program, year 2 in the company, so many people wanted to buy into the offers. Like I started having six and multi-six-figure launches immediately of recurring revenue programs because I already proved the process. So I see some people that are like, I want to jump to big cash months and whatever, have all this recurring revenue. And I'm like, but you need to put in the work now. You need to focus on having that cash now revenue coming into the company, and that will just fold into your recurring revenue programs. And that has changed the game for me. So out of that 52K cash over the last 3 days, it came from both of those revenue streams. And the only reason I can sell inside of those two revenue streams and do it via my Instagram story and also via email is because I have that sales authority in those core topics. And so when I write content or I sell on my social media or via email, I'm only talking about those core topics in my sales authority. I'm only making problem awareness content around those 3 topics. I'm only telling stories around those 3 topics. I'm only activating around those 3 topics. That's it. What that does is it creates I don't want to use the word authority again. It creates a domination in those topics that then when I go to sell, they say, oh, obviously she's known for these things. This is what she's the authority in. I want to hire her. Think about it this way. It's like, I've already done the selling. Most people, what they need to do is they need to have all of these conversations with people all of the time. It's just because they haven't built the authority. You can build the authority and it will make your sales process so much easier. So I want you to think about, what is your sales authority? What are the core topics? It can be multiple topics, but what are the core topics that you are the actual authority in, that's a complement in the marketplace, that's unique in the marketplace, and it's something that only you can do. You are the absolute best at this. This is expert level. And then I want you to focus on making content and marketing materials that are only on those core topics. So your low ticket offers, any mid-ticket programs that you run, if you do run those. Your high-ticket offers are all focused on those pillars. You will build a name for yourself. You will become more influential and famous because if people can't repeat what you do, you're not going to become famous. People need to be able to share what you do with people. They need to be able to say, oh, this is what Sarah does. This is what Katie does. This is what this person does. They need to be able to repeat it. It will also increase the value of what you do. So literally the value of your work will increase because the more specific it is, the more people think that that's valuable, and the more the movement will form around it. So people will want to feel like I'm a part of this world because this is what we focus on inside of this space. That's what makes a movement a movement. It's cohesive. We're all here on a shared mission. We want to work on those things together. We're all going on this pathway. So I want you to even notice there how I took a topic that I'm teaching on, something that I've experienced in my business and achievement, and I even right there looped it back to my sales authority of building a movement, of selling high-end at scale, of being famous and influential. So everything that I do is only further doubling down my unique angle and stance inside of the marketplace. Okay. If you got value out of episode number 5 inside of season 1 of The Art of Moving the Masses, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed. Put a comment below. I can see the comments. Share the podcast with somebody that needs it. And I will see you inside of episode number 6, where I'm going to be talking about the 10 lessons that I learned from making $10 million in under 5 years. I'll see you in the next episode.